Good day, subscribers, and welcome to Momentum channel. In this video, I wanted to show you my stock market portfolio that I have and its performance in the past week. I will transparently discuss all the positions that I currently own in this portfolio and what stocks I've purchased in the past week, as well as what I intend to purchase in the coming week and the stock market performance, in fact, for my portfolio. Right, so let us first get started with Wealthsimple Trade. That's where I have three different accounts. I have an RRSP, TFSA, and personal account. For my TFSA account, you can see the performance in a week has been 5.22% return. For a month's performance, it's been over 11%, and a 1 year return has been 19% plus. So quite a decent return for this account. Looking at my registered retirement savings plan, RSP account, the all-time return has been 42%. The 1 week return has been a decent 11% plus, and of course, similarly for a 1 year return has been 42%. This account hasn't been open that long, which is why the all-time and the 1 year return has been fairly similar. For my personal account, there you see a huge jump because of recently deposited account, but most importantly, a 1 day return has been 1.38%, and the month return has been around 8%. 3 months return around 15%. Before we proceed, let us take a look at the dividend that we've earned on this account in the past week. You can see we earned some dividends from ZWC and PDI over the span of the last week. I want to also show you the purchase that I've made in this account over the past week. Right, so we bought one share of the Morguard North American Residential Real Estate Investment Trust. This is a REIT, and I found out about this through Brandon Beavis Investing. So definitely did a little research and found that this is an interesting one to look at. They own 48 real estate properties here in North America. I also bought one share of XIT, which is an information technology REIT here in Canada that I did a video on a few days ago, so I'll encourage you to check that out as well. And I bought one share of Pfizer, which is a pharmaceutical company. I did a different video on it a while ago. I really wanted to take advantage of the dollar cost averaging. Lastly, I bought one share of Zoom Communications just 1 day before it releases its financial reports. The stock actually went up quite a bit before that day, and even on the day after the announcement it went up a little bit, but since then it's kind of gone down. I really wanted to get into Zoom and understand that it's actually overvalued at this time, but I wanted to have at least one share and form my cost basis from there on. If the stocks goes further down, probably I would hold on to it so that it goes a little bit lower, and then I can add to my positions. But if it continues to go up, then I will be happy as an investor in that stock. All right, so let's take a look at different holdings that I do have in this personal account. And I'm going to show you the total value and total return. I think that gives you a better picture and how many shares I have. I have shares of Air Canada that has been doing phenomenal over the past couple of days. Carnival Cruise Lines is doing excellent, and we also own shares of Royal Caribbean Cruise. So I intend to do actually a video in the next couple of days around cruise companies and which one is a better buy in my opinion. Stay tuned as I complete my research, in-depth research on that, and post more details on it. As you could see, the Royal Caribbean Cruise, the 3 shares that I own have been phenomenal in terms of the return, to over 122% return, which is just impressive. You can see I own also shares of some banks such as the Toronto Dominion Bank, a couple of different companies including Verizon, Wind, and a number of ETFs here, XDV, XIT, and the rest. Let's move on and take a look at the holdings that I have for my RSP account. Here we have AbbVie, Artis, REIT, we have Foot Locker, we have the Morguard that we talked about, PDI, SPYG, which is for S&P 500 companies. Foot Locker has been doing very well with a return of 85%. I also own shares of UDOW, which is a triple leverage Dow Jones ETF. Lastly, let's take a look at the holdings in my TFSA account. We have shares of AbbVie again. It's a pharmaceutical company, one of my favorite ones. As I indicated earlier, we did an extensive video on the pharmaceutical companies and their returns, and I really compared different top players in the pharmaceutical sector. Based on that, I decided I really want to get into AbbVie and Pfizer. So if you haven't watched that video, I do encourage you to check it out. It gives you really good information from a stock market analysis. A number of others such as Twilio, which is a cloud computing and cloud player company. Most recently, they were acquired by a number of different clients for the contact tracing during the recent pandemic. So obviously their business is doing quite well. Speaking of the companies that I have on my watch list and intend to buy them, I'm going to show you the ones that I've already pre-assigned a buy order at a certain price that I'm really comfortable with. For some of these prices though, the gap is quite extensive. in terms of the price that I'm intending to buy them versus the market price. I might have to really revisit these prices at one point, but for the time being, and it's in the spirit of transparency, I just want to show you the ones that I've already assigned here. You can see on here on the list, we have a different number of them and different prices that you are able to see here on the screen. I've been continuing to deposit funds to my Wealthsimple trade account. Most recently deposited around 2,500, and that gives me a lot more liquidity to buy some of the stocks and securities that I plan to purchase. All right, so let us move on to the Wealthsimple Invest. This is another account that I own with Wealthsimple, but here it's more of a passive investing approach. You can see the total value for my account here. The return has been quite positive. You know, at one point we were at the negative. In fact, I recall at one point we were almost negative 8 to 10,000, but the account has recovered very nicely. And in fact, the fact that I continue to add more funds to this account over those market declines has helped me to really recover better. Been continuously and aggressively contributing to this account. You know, June so far we've put over 700 into this account, and I have 4 different accounts here, including a personal account, social responsible account, and 2 registered accounts, RSP and TFSA. Here are the returns for these accounts. You could see on the screen. All in all, they're doing good. What I also wanted to do is take a quick look at some of the recent purchases on this account and how the contribution that I'm making is being used to be invested. So the way that Wealthsimple approaches this is, as you continue to fund your account, it uses those contributions and buys a number of different quality exchange rated funds that are in your portfolio, and they have some preset target weights. So for example, for US stock investing, they might have a target of 20 or 25%, depending on really, of course, your risk tolerance. As a result, depending on how that specific ETF is doing, they might put more money into it to buy more of it if the stock price has gone down, or if it's really doing well, they spend more money on some other funds that you have in your account. The moral of the story is that though they continue to invest your funds, even your dividends get reinvested, so that really goes a long way. Speaking of dividends, let's take a quick peek at the dividends that we've earned recently. So you can see the dividends in June, in May, a couple of dividends earned in May, April, and so on. As you click on each one of them, of course, then it shows you a little bit more details where that dividend came from, what specific ETF in this case actually paid you that dividend. So really cool way to keep track of your dividend income and how it's doing. Just to give you an idea how easy it is to fund your account, let me just quickly try it here on this video. I have my social responsible account, one of my favorite ones here. So I just click on fund this account and decide on the amount. Let's say I want to just contribute $12. Select the account, proceed. Love the calculator and the projection that appears on the screen. Select the account that you want to debit the funds from. I have my EQ Bank link there. You can decide to contribute right away or even select a future date. In this case, I just want to contribute right away. What I love is you can see that how contributing that amount, which is only $12, it may not sound much, but in 30 years, thanks to the power of compounding interest, it's actually going to grow drastically. In fact, before the portfolio value was estimated to be at $848,299, whereas after it's going to grow by almost $69 in 30 years. Wealthsimple Invest was an easy way for me to get started with investing in the stock market. It just makes the process so much easier. If you haven't been investing in the stock market and are curious to get started, I do encourage you to get started with a passive investing approach because it's just a lot easier. You don't need to do as much research. And there are a number of brokerages out there. Personally, I use Wealthsimple Invest, and I've been using them for the past 3 years plus, and been very happy with how it's worked out for me. I do encourage you to check it out if you're interested. We have a promotion here for Momentum Channel subscribers and Momentum Channel viewers. If you sign up through the link provided in the description down below, you get a promotion that up to $10,000 of your money would be managed for free at no charge. That doesn't mean that you have to, of course, start with such a large investing. In fact, you can get started with Wealthsimple as low as $5 or even $2 or $10. It's really up to you how much you want to invest. So be sure to check it out if that's something that intrigues you. Or if you do have any question, do let me know in the comment section below. I do take time to respond to each and every comment as long as there's a question that you'd like me to respond to. So thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. We've growing this channel drastically over the past couple of weeks, thanks to your support and contributions to this channel, better through comments, watching it, liking, or subscribing. I hope you found this video of value. I went through my portfolio transparently, not with the intention of to brag about anything, but rather to inspire you. And if you showed determination and persistence, how you can grow your own portfolio as well. Hope you got something of value from this video. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to Momentum channel. Here on Momentum, we post weekly videos about stock market analysis and finances. Hope to see you next time.